The Vedanta speaks of fivefold tattvas, truths or elements. These are 1. Brahman, universal soul or spirit. Jivatman, the individual soul or life. 3. Prakriti or matter. 4. Kala or time. And 5. Karma or action. Let's explain these 5 tattvas, focusing on the difference between matter and life. Vedanta and Ayurveda proclaim that spirit, Brahman, and matter, Prakriti, are 2 distinct categories of reality. Besides the material characteristics encoded by the genetic material, there is a spiritual element of life, the soul or Jivatman, in every living being. Our consciousness and free will are the properties of spirit. Matter, however complex it may become, can never be conscious. Spirit, as life, and matter can intermingle in the dimension of time, kala, resulting in what we recognize as biological life. Brahman is the origin of both, beyond the perception of the physical senses. Matter is completely unconscious, whereas Jivatman is the conscious energy of the universal soul. According to the Vedas, there are 8.4 million varieties of life, which include microorganisms, plants, aquatics, birds, reptiles, animals, humanoids, and finally human beings. The Jivatman passes from the less conscious life forms to more conscious life forms, according to the subtle laws of karma, cause and effect, until it reaches its pinnacle, the human form. In the human form of life, consciousness is fully developed, and one can fulfill the ultimate and supreme purpose of life. One can inquire. According to Ayurveda, all living beings are endowed with the presence of a non-chemical, non-molecular, non-physical, fundamental spiritual particle, the Jivatman. To know about the Jivatman, no microscope or other physical instrument could possibly be of use. Another method of knowing is required. It was self-evident to our ancestors that our normal waking consciousness is but one special type of consciousness. Separated from it by the flimsiest of barriers were other completely different forms of consciousness. An example would be the intuitive and creative form of consciousness we encounter in the dream state. But besides dreams, early Vedic sages challenged their own rational thought and sought higher levels of consciousness and a fuller and larger experience of who they really were. Modern Western science views consciousness as an epiphenomenon of matter. In other words, that we are physical entities which have developed nervous tissues and brains, and then we somehow acquire the ability to become aware and think. Vedanta has a diametrically opposed understanding. It says that matter is the epiphenomenon of consciousness. We, human beings, as well as all other life forms, are thoughts and bodies created from consciousness. We are aggregates of intelligence which have acquired mental and physical structures, not the other way around. According to Vedanta and Ayurveda, the brain is an important organ of the body into which consciousness is transmitted. However, it is neither created nor confined there. Conscious energy is Brahman, universal spirit, flowing into matter. In today's science textbooks, living beings are generally defined as having the potential to respond to stimuli such as light, heat, sound, to grow, reproduce, move, and be sustained by the processes of nutrition, respiration, and metabolism. But what makes these living systems grow? We explain growth as being due to the multiplication of cells through cell division, or mitosis. But why does any cell start dividing in the first place? Why does a fertilized ovum begin to divide, eventually creating a complete and complex mind-body? The ancient Vedic sages asked this question and concluded that it is due to the presence of Jivatman that the material body becomes animated and active and experiences 5 phases. It is conceived, it grows, it produces offspring, it gradually degenerates, and finally it dissolves back into its elements and the Jivatman merges back to its source. An analogy would be that of a beautiful and new, powerful red Ferrari and its driver inside. When the driver leaves, the car cannot move. Similarly, when the Atman leaves, in death, the body can no longer be animated, in spite of the fact that all the molecular structures of the body might still be intact. The Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, affirms that the spirit, however hidden it may be to us, is the substance by which the entire physical universe is sustained. Bhumi apo nala vayu kammano bhadyevacha ahankaraitami bina prakriti astadaha aparemita stvanyam prakritam vidimi param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharate jagat. Translation: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego. This, my prakriti, is divided into 8 parts. But this is my lower prakriti. Know my other, higher prakriti, consisting of spirit, by which this universe is sustained. The unalterable, unshakable truth of the creation is that behind and separate from all entities is Brahman, the supreme consciousness that is inseparable from all beings and is the very cause of the existence of all things, and of our own Jivatman, our own individual self.